Welcome, my beloved fellow Flourishing Goddess to Flourishing Goddess. I am so excited that you are here. My name is Syma and I am an international sacred feminine and spiritual coach, healer, and Amazon bestselling author. And I have the honor and the blessing of supporting sensitive, soulful women like yourself all over the world in healing and uncovering your greatest inner blocks, manifesting your boldest dreams, and flourishing in every way into the goddesses that you truly are. This is my passion and my mission, and I'm so grateful to support you. And to help you get started today, I would love to gift to you a beautiful guided meditation where I connected with and channeled 14 goddesses to support you in reclaiming your sacred feminine power, because that is what I'm here to help you with. And that's my wish for and my prayer for every woman and every sister in the world. So what I would love for you to do is download the meditation by clicking the link below. And then I would love to also teach you about the goddesses that you'll be meeting, because whether or not you are familiar with goddesses or you're deeply immersed in the goddess path, I would love for you to just see them. I have their oracle cards here right with me to learn a little bit more about them and why it's important and essential for you to awaken them inside of yourself. Now, I also just want you to know that this is for every woman, right? So if you're very new to spirituality and goddess work, or this has been a part of your life for a long time, I would love for you to just connect with the goddesses in a way that most resonates with you. So you can think of them as archetypes. You can think of them as sacred feminine energies that you're going to be activating in yourself. You can think of them as aspects of yourself, or you can think of them and connect with them as actual living, breathing, divine deities. I connect with them on all these levels, and I know that's how I've experienced very miraculous shifts in my life. I did a lot of spiritual healing work to heal from extensive traumas from my childhood, and I was raised in a very patriarchal and abusive environment as well, in a religious environment. So it wasn't until I embraced the goddesses and awoke them within me that I was really able to heal and transform myself and be a full flourishing woman, and to create the life that is a life that I could never have even dreamt of. And it is, again, my mission to support you in doing the same. And wherever you are on your path, I know that connecting with these beautiful goddesses is going to support you. We really, really need you to, my love, because our world is triggering us women and calling us to rise up individually and collectively, to reclaim our power, to reclaim our dignity, our worth, our value. So no matter what's been happening in your personal life and how you've been feeling about what's happening in the world, especially around the treatment of women, this is your time to rise, not just for you, but for the world. We need you to live fully in your light and your power and your joy, and to share your gifts with us. That's your purpose, right? And we want to benefit and be blessed by what you are here to do. And just your happiness is a blessing to us. So I'm going to get started on teaching you the goddesses that you'll be meeting in our meditation. So the first goddess that we meet is at the base of the spine, at the root chakra, and that's the beautiful Gaia. Gaia is earth, right? She is the mother, she is the sustainer and the supporter, and she helps us women to get grounded and anchored and establish the foundation. That's why it's at the root. Sensitive, soulful women like us often really struggle with being completely present because we are so open. We're like these sponges and we absorb so much energy, and we're so heart-centered and spiritually inclined that we may not always feel rooted and grounded. And some symptoms of this, or some ways to know that perhaps you need to be more grounded, is if you just find yourself constantly flustered or fearful and anxious. Anxiety is when you're afraid of the future, right? And that's fear, really. So fear gets lodged in the root chakra. That's sort of the source of our fears. It's not feeling safe. Safety is the gift of the root chakra when it's in balance. I know this myself because, again, I had a lot of abuse growing up, physical, emotional, and sexual. And so as a child, as a teenager, never felt safe, and even in my mid-20s. Now, another way that this can show up for you if the root chakra needs healing is if you're experiencing a depression. And even on a deeper level, a dark night of the soul, I had post-traumatic stress disorder in my teens and a very serious bout of depression in my mid-20s again, where I just didn't even have the will and the motivation to live. And I had so much fear. And that's a completely blocked root chakra. And I hope to Goddess that that's not where you are, my love. But if you have been there, if you are there, there is so much hope. There is so much support for you. And you want to start by healing all the root chakra stuff. This is also where we can carry fears of our parents, our family, our lineage, our ancestors, fears and struggles from past lives, especially as they relate to shelter, security, safety, sustenance, and support. So as I support you in helping you connect with Gaia, my intention for you is that you will feel sustained and supported and rooted and grounded and have a beautiful, strong foundation to build everything else up from. So the next goddess that you'll be meeting is Shakti. Shakti in our meditation is the divine, sacred, feminine life force energy, right? So once you establish your roots and you are deeply, beautifully anchored, you are going to want to create the life that you want, right? You're going to reconnect with your will and your motivation and help to overcome those fears and really know that you belong here. You have a purpose here. It's your right to be here. So then you need your life force to create the life that you desire and deserve. And so Shakti is that power that you have as a woman. As a woman, you have your own power to create anything. You are the channeler of babies, the vessel for babies and creating, birthing life. The Shakti is the power of the feminine to create galaxies, right? So, one beautiful story is of the goddess Parvati, who is married to Shiva. Shiva is a deity of fertility, the male god of fertility. And yet one day he's away and, Parvati's bathing and she wants to just be safe. So she creates a boy out of clay and breathes and wills Shakti, divine feminine life force energy into him. And she creates her own son. He comes to life and it's Ganesh, the elephant-headed deity that you may know of. And that's how powerful you are as a woman that, here's Parvati married to the god of fertility and she doesn't even need him to make her son, to make her own baby. So that's how powerful you are. You can create the life that you want. You can create anything from nothing. So Shakti is going to help you to awaken your divine feminine power, my love. Now, as we move up, the second chakra is the sacral chakra. This is your sexual center, centered in your womb, your sexual organs. And the goddess here is Aphrodite. Aphrodite is such a powerful goddess for us women to connect with and heal because most of us need healing around this area, around our Aphrodite. She is sexual energy, passion and pleasure and sensuality and self-love and self-esteem and self-nourishment and how we nourish ourselves and nurture our bodies and treat our bodies as a holy, divine temple that it truly is. And it can get so damaged. Anything from some harsh words around our body to, like in my experience, sexual assault, it can completely damage us, right? And so in my experience, I had shame, self-loathing, and guilt because not only was there so much extensive childhood sexual abuse, but then on top of that, I was raised in a very religious Muslim environment where sexuality and a woman's body, it was sinful to reveal, like even my arms right now, this would be a sin. Right? And, sexuality outside of the context of marriage was sinful and punishable and horrible and something to be ashamed of and punished for. And I know, those of you who have been raised in other, strict religious backgrounds have had similar experiences often, right? So we get so much wounding around our sexuality and sensuality and the Aphrodite. And we need to awaken Aphrodite to reclaim our bodies as our own, to reclaim our right to sensuality and to remember that sexuality is sacred. That is how we make babies. This is how we create. This is how we experience pleasure, which God, Goddess want us to. That's why we're created in human form on this beautiful earth with all these earthly pleasures and beautiful experiences to be present to. The essence of the sacral chakra is nectar or sweetness. So you're meant to extract and embrace and enjoy the sweetness of life, the nectar of life. So my intention is to support you with Aphrodite awakening her to awaken pleasure and passion in yourself and just that love and reverence for your body, my love. The next goddess you'll meet at the sacral chakra still is beautiful Lakshmi. You can see Lakshmi behind me over there as well. Lakshmi is the Hindu goddess of abundance and wealth and prosperity and flow. Now, one of the challenges we have as sensitive, heart-centered women is we're giving to everybody else, but we don't replenish and we don't receive. We often feel guilty receiving, right? I've had this myself. And so what happens? We get blocked. We're trying so hard to manifest things and they're not coming. And we wonder why, because, I'm so kind, I'm so giving, I'm so caring. Well, maybe we're doing all that, but not allowing ourselves to receive. So Lakshmi reminds you, my love, to balance so that you can be in the feminine energy of receptivity, because the more you allow yourself to receive, the more you can give, right? The more you can give from a place of fullness and inner fulfillment rather than emptiness, which can lead us to getting depressed and fatigued and irritable and resentful. And that's not fun for anyone, and especially ourselves, right? So when you're in that flow, everything is just flowing to you and through you, and it's beautiful and it's luscious and it's magical. And that's what I would love to help you to awaken as you connect with Lakshmi in our meditation. So the next goddesses that we'll be meeting are at the solar plexus chakra. So this is at your stomach. And we're going to awaken Bridget. Bridget is your inner divine spark. She is your courage, your confidence, your creative spark. She is a triple goddess. I love working with Bridget. We work much more deeply with her in my triple goddess training program because it's so essential for us women to connect with that warrioress aspect of ourselves. She will give you the courage to take a stand for yourself, to stand in your truth, to empower yourself, to set boundaries. One of the greatest challenges we have is standing in our power and saying no and setting boundaries and being assertive, right? Again, in my own life with all the abuse, what happened was it left me feeling very afraid and scared and this constant struggle with authority, right? And so I had this with my father and then sometimes in school and in my work experiences. I was blessed. I've had many wonderful work experiences as well when I was in the corporate world. But the last three, it was like three's a charm. The universe gave me three bosses who were like tyrants and very abusive to help me to learn that soul lesson of standing in my own power and not being afraid of it, taking a stand for myself, and then to be so empowered that I can create my own business and never work for a boss again. That was one of my lessons, but Bridget will help you do that, right? And before that, I had a lot of struggle and fear around authority. And so I know it takes a lot of courage, and you're scared. And courage isn't that you're not going to be scared or you'll be fearless, but that you'll have that fear and still be able to take a stand. And so I've done this when I had to stop the cycle of abuse. Last time I was beaten by my father was when I stood up for my mother, whom he was verbally abusing. And I was very scared. And then the worst happened. I was severely beaten. And I've been disowned for speaking up. I've been, disowned for pursuing a post-secondary education when I was forbidden to, for refusing an arranged marriage. And so all these experiences, the worst case scenario happened. I was forced to resign from my last job because I took a stand against the harassment for myself and my colleagues. And so that was it. The worst happened. And not only did I survive, but connecting with my inner courage and that conviction to be true to myself at all costs helped me to transform my life. And, again, being released of the corporate toxic world where it was never the right fit for me anyway, and I was never truly fulfilled or happy. Now I get to do my life's calling, right? Now I get to be of service, and every woman that I get to serve is sensitive and soulful and sweet and kind and appreciative. And again, I'm in my authority. So this is how powerful you are. I would love for you to awaken Bridget so that you come into your full courage and are like that warrioress on behalf of your beliefs, your dreams, your priorities, and your truth. Okay, my love? The next goddess that we'll meet at the solar plexus is the beautiful Amaterasu. So Amaterasu is a Buddhist Shinto goddess, and she is the goddess of the sun. So in addition to being connected with our power, the solar plexus is the center of your radiance and your joy and your laughter and your happiness. So Amaterasu is your inner light, your divine spark, and we need you to shine. When you are afraid and you dim your light and you play small, no one is benefited. No one is served. We need you to be so centered in your joy that it is a joy and a blessing to be in your presence. And you have that source inside of you through that sacred inner sun, through the inner goddess Amaterasu that lives and resides inside of you. So I'd love to help you to awaken your divine radiance and light because you deserve it, my love. As we continue up towards the heart chakra, now we meet Kuan Yin. Kuan Yin is the Buddhist goddess of mercy and compassion and enlightenment and forgiveness. And she is so essential because first and foremost, we need to have unconditional self-love and compassion towards ourselves. But also, forgiveness is the path to healing. So the men that assaulted me when I was a child, it wasn't my father, it was many other men, about 11 altogether, that I can remember. And I had to forgive. Now, you don't forgive the acts. You know, how can you forgive childhood sexual abuse and all the traumas and horrendous things that you perhaps have gone through as well, the hurtful experiences. But forgiveness is saying, I'm no longer willing to carry this pain inside of me, right? Because when I did, I suffered for it. I suffered for it, not them. I suffered and I was depressed and my relationships, weren't honoring to me. And I just constantly experienced in my life the things to amplify how I already felt about myself, like a victim, less worthy, not good enough, pitiful even, and just so much self-loathing. So forgiveness was my way of saying no more. I am no longer going to be a victim. I free myself of the toxic and painful and self-sabotaging effects and patterns that have been created as a result of your act, as a result of your unconscious acts where you were not connected to your spirit. So I will bless you in your spirit on your path to your highest good, but I will free myself. So Kuan Yin is there, my love, to support you in freeing yourself, no longer carrying those resentments, freeing yourself of anger and pain so that your heart can open like a beautiful lotus flower and unfurl and just be untainted like a lotus flower, no matter what those muddy waters of your life have been. And that's what you deserve, right? To rise above. My old practice actually used to be called Flourishing Lotus, and that was one of the reasons. My name translation is also Flourishing Lotus, my first and middle names. But Flourishing Lotus is also what you're meant to be, right? As much as a flourishing goddess. So Kuan Yin will really support you with that. And I look really forward to helping you to awaken self-love and compassion at your heart center in our meditation. The next goddess we'll meet is Hera, also at the heart center. And Hera is your inner queen, right? So when we as women don't uphold high standards for ourselves because we're lacking the self-respect and self-value and self-worth, we're going to experience that in parts of our lives. We might settle for being underpaid. We might overgive and just constantly have this unbalance. Hera says, no, honey, you are a queen. So just stop settling for less. And it's really unfortunate that we've been sold this dream of wanting to be princesses with a knight in shining armor. I help a lot of women through my program, Manifest Soulmate Love, as well as my book. And, the whole point there is for us women to not need the knight in shining armor but to be our own heroines and to be queens so we can attract a king if we are looking for love or if we're in a relationship, to elevate that relationship where you are an empress and he's an emperor, right? You're beloved. So Hera will help you to uphold standards of a queen and to be a leader with that kind of regal self-love, because that's what you're worth, my love. And again, in my own life, when I settled for less and didn't feel I deserved that much, that's exactly what I got. I undercharged even in the beginning of my business, and I overgave, and I attracted clients that were acting like they did me a favor, and I would feel so drained and almost sad and used and taken advantage of at the end. And then I had to learn to build my confidence in my self-worth and my self-value, and then to, have a fair exchange for the value that I provided. And now I expect that. And that's what I receive, right? And from really lovely, wonderful, deeply appreciative clients as well. So this is what I want for you. I want you to have the self-worth and self-love of the queen that you truly are. So every part of your life is also royal and fit for a queen. Okay? So now, moving up to the throat chakra, you're going to meet Athena. Athena is your inner wisdom. She is also a warrioress, and she will help you to speak your truth with grace, with clarity, and with authenticity. So one of the challenges we have as sensitive, soulful women is we can be so concerned about other people's feelings that we don't express our own feelings, right? Because we don't want to offend or hurt. And yet Athena reminds you that if that's the case, then your relationships are not authentic because you're not being your true self. You're not expressing your true self. So combined with that power you gain from Bridget, the courage, Athena will help you to speak your truth from wisdom and from power. Okay. And to help you to balance that will be Saraswati, so that everything you speak comes from grace and beauty and your spirit. Saraswati is the goddess of spiritual enlightenment and art and creativity and beautiful expression and communication. For those of you who are artists or healers or messengers in any way, she's a beautiful ally to have on your side as your spiritual support team, or as part of your spiritual support team. And so Saraswati is there with Athena to ensure that everything that you're expressing is coming from purity, from truth, from authenticity, and expressed from love and beauty and power. Now, as we move up, we are going to awaken Isis. Isis is one of the most powerful goddesses. She is a mother, a sorceress, a midwife, a healer, a queen, a protectress, a lover. She will help you to be initiated on your spiritual path because so many times we're almost afraid of our spirituality. We've been told that we're hypersensitive and oversensitive, and we don't even realize that our hypersensitivity is our spirituality. It's our intuition. It's our inner GPS system that's constantly giving us guidance or warnings on what to not do and what to follow and how to live our lives aligned with our spiritual truth. So Isis will initiate you into your spiritual path as the high priestess that you truly are. So when we awaken Isis, we're really awakening our spiritual wisdom and our feminine intuition. It is such a blessing to be a woman and to have access to feminine magic and intuition. And I would just so love for you to awaken Isis so that you can access that and really live your life in oneness with divine guidance and your spirit's will for your most blessed, beautiful, bountiful, and magical life. And to support you with that, the next goddess that you'll meet at the third eye is Artemis. Artemis is the wild huntress. So Artemis reminds you that unlike the masculine way of creating where it's struggle, push, strive, power through, no honey, you are a wild huntress. You dance and run in the forests like a wild woman and howl at the full moon, and you create with joy and with fun. So, you have your bow and arrow ready and you set your target, you aim and you shoot, and then you continue to run wild and free. So it's that balance. So Artemis will help you to awaken sacred focus so that you can meet your goals and manifest your intentions the sacred feminine way. And the final two goddesses that we meet are Aditi and White Tara. Aditi, my love, is the void, the sacred void, because it is absolutely essential for us sensitive, soulful women, and all women, really, all humans, to connect with the divine. But as women specifically, because we have the capacity to birth from the womb is this dark wombiverse or universe. So Aditi is that dark void through which everything is created. And she reminds us that in order to create, in order to be receptive vessels, we have to first purge and empty. And in our emptiness, we receive. So Aditi will help you to enter silence and stillness so that you can receive divine guidance and trust divine guidance through your Isis and then through all your other chakras that you've already awakened to co-create your dreams into being, to follow that divine guidance and to really make your life magical and make things happen. So Aditi is really essential to connect with, and I look really forward to helping you to feel her presence in your life and connect with her every single day. And finally, you're going to be awakening White Tara. White Tara is the goddess of enlightenment and freedom and eternal life. Because our true gift as heart-centered and sensitive, soulful women is how strongly and deeply we feel. Now, I know it can be so challenging sometimes when we're seeing really heartbreaking things happen in our world, but this is also your gift. So please don't be overwhelmed by your sensitivity. Honor your sensitivity as your divinity, because that's truly what it is. No matter what has ever been said to you about your sensitivity, no matter how alone you have felt in being so sensitive, my love, it is your gift. And as you awaken White Tara, you can transform all your overwhelm of feeling into a gift of prayer and power, and sending out that will of freedom from suffering for all beings everywhere, right? Peace for all beings everywhere. Happiness and joy for all beings everywhere. White Tara will help you to do that, my love. You feel so strongly and deeply because that is your gift to us. That makes you such a powerful force of love in the world. It makes you a channel and vessel of divine love in the world. And your love and your prayers, your spiritual power will help to heal the world. And they bring unity and oneness because you connect with that inner source and love. And love heals everything. And it is just the channel of all miracles. So I'm so looking forward to helping you to connect with your White Tara and all of these goddesses. I hope this has helped you in knowing just who the goddesses are and connecting with them a little more deeply. And my recommendation for you as you practice the meditation now, my love, is to at least practice it 7 consecutive days in a row, because that way it's going through every chakra and it's energetically helping to really activate them on every level. But you can do this every single day or as often as you like, morning or evenings. And I would love for you then to share with me on my Facebook page at facebook.com/flourishinggoddess just how this has supported you and which goddesses you felt really an easy and natural connection with, which ones you had some challenges with, which ones you want to work with a little more deeply, and which ones you might need to work with very deeply to create some deeper healing. As, for example, I said I needed to do with Aphrodite, right, in my life. So I would love to hear that. So just post me a comment on Facebook to let me know how this has served you. Say, hi, Syma, I tried your meditation and here's what happened. And if this has served you, I would love for you to share this with all the women in your life who are also heart-centered and sensitive and soulful or struggling, because we need this, right? We need to learn about the goddesses. We're not taught about how powerful the goddesses are because it will remind us of how powerful we are. So support me. Let's support each other in acknowledging how powerful we are and sharing this knowledge with our fellow sisters so we can all reclaim our feminine power and flourish in every way. So to further support you with this, keep an eye out for my next email, and please add my email address, syma@flourishinggoddess.com, to your contact list so that you don't miss anything from me, because next email, I'm going to be sending you another free downloadable gift to help you to deepen even more into these goddesses, right? And to really declare them as your sacred feminine self, your sacred feminine power and archetypes, and to embody them. And I'll also be teaching you more deeply about the greatest struggles that we have as sensitive, soulful women. I'll be clarifying for you what to do instead, what to focus on instead, so that you feel even more empowered. So I hope that this has supported you. I'm so grateful that you are here. Welcome again to Flourishing Goddess. And let's do this, goddess. Let's rise up. Let's flourish in every way and be the goddesses that we truly are. I'm sending you all my love. Namaste.